Okay, now let us talk some more about 5G. Now, I will leave my reference in the description box. Now, to start things off, let us hear what Barry Tower had to say. Now, Barry Tower, a British physicist who was a microwave weapons expert and who worked for the Royal Navy and the British Secret Service, said that future generations will be real victims of DNA damage caused by microwave radiation, which is irreparable. It is passed on from mother to daughter, generation after generation, forever. Now, this technology that they are rolling out on humanity, right? We have a physicist letting us know that it will damage our DNA and that the damage that has been done will not be repaired, but in fact pass on. Right? So what these people are trying to do is to change the form of man. Right? Now this technology is absolutely sinister and wicked. But because we are so entertained, we are so taken back by this life and all the glamour that it offers, we are not understanding what is really about to happen to humanity. We are in trouble. Because another thing that you need to understand with this 5G and other machine as well, that they work off frequency, so they can attack our frequency. Right now, you have in 1990, US President Ronald Reagan, he authorized a top secret project named Sleeping Beauty, which is a mind control using radio frequency to disrupt the human nervous system, unhinge a man's mind, paralyze ability to reason, react, cause rage, panic, or lethargy. People, these machines are mind control machine. Right? Now, what you have to understand also is that the insurance industry is no fool, because in 1999, Lloyd's of London, they understand the dangers of this and they refuse to insure the mobile manufacturers against the risk to their users, which is something for a lot of you out there to think about, because you're all racing for the latest phones. Right? Now, to add insult to injury, in 2001, Lloyd's and Swiss Re recommended to other insurance company, right? So they are protecting each other. They recommend to other insurance company to write a clause against paying compensation for illnesses caused by continuous long-term low-level radiation. It's time for us to wake up. And a lot of you might say this is conspiracy theories. 5G is not in my country. The antennas are there. Right? And if they're not there for display, then they will disguise them in lampposts. Because everyone has to roll this technology out, because it's a mind control machine. Right? This goes back to the end time prophecies. Right? This is where we're at right now. We're at the end. It's the end times. Right? And my opinion that I'm going to interject right here is that these frequency machines are part of a tool that is used by the fallen to help bring in their entities. It is a key to help bring entities in from other worlds. That is why they're in such a rush to put them up, among other reasons, because let us look at what it is doing to nature, right? So over the last 25 years, butterflies, 5 species now extinct in UK. Arctic migratory birds, 109 species have shrunk in numbers, right? So what you have is that this thing is damaging our ecosystem. It has a very bad effect on nature, which you already know what they're going to say. They're going to say this has to do with climate change, because that is the usual excuse. Anything that cannot be explained, anything that will come against our interests, let us call it climate change. But here is a very interesting bill that I want you to think about. In 1995, US President Bill Clinton, right, and this is a cell towers and school. So Clinton issued a formal memorandum stating that transmitter masts, which include cell phone towers, should not be sited on school or near residential areas. No, that is 1995. Now, in 1996, we have the U.S. Telecommunication Act. Right? Now, U.S. President Bill Clinton signed the Telecommunication Act into law, which is said to be the most lobbied bill in history. Section 704 of the TCA states that no health or environmental concern can interfere with the placement of telecom equipment. Example, a cell phone tower. Industry can sue government. Right? So they can sue the government for stopping them from killing humanity, from killing nature. Right? Make that make sense. Why would a president that should have his people's best interest, why would he sign such a thing into law? Why would he do that? People, it's time for us to wake up. And you also need to understand that these 5G antennas that are going up, they are not only going up on land, they are going up in space as well. So we'll be completely covered with this technology. Right? How wicked can you get? How wicked can you get? Right? So let me explain a little bit more about this from this article dated May 2019. Space-based 5G explained. At least 5 companies are proposing to provide 5G from space from a combined 20,000 satellites in low and medium Earth orbit that will blanket the Earth with powerful, focused, electronically steerable beam. Each satellite will emit millimeter waves which with an effect radiate power of up to 5 million watts from thousands of antennas arranged in a phase array. Although the energy reaching the Earth from the satellite will be less than that from ground-based antenna, right, it will radiate areas of the Earth not reached by other transmitters and will be additions to ground-based 5G transmissions from billions of LOT objects. Right? So these people are going into space. Now, hear this part. Even more importantly, the satellite will be located in the Earth magnetic spheres, which exert a significant influence over the electrical properties of the atmosphere. The alteration of the Earth's electromagnetic environment may be an even greater threat to life than the radiation from the ground-based antennas. Right? Now they know that this thing will have a bad effect on humanity, and they are pushing ahead nonetheless. Right? Now let us have another look at this article. May 2019, Harm to Human Health from 5G Radiation explained. More than 10,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies demonstrate harm to human health from RF radiation. Effects include alteration of heart rhythm, altered gene expression, altered metabolism, altered stem cell production, and cancers. And they're still going ahead. The list gets longer. Cardiovascular disease, cognitive impairment, DNA damage, impact on general well-being, increased free radicals, learning and memory deficits, impaired sperm function and quality, miscarriage, neurological damage, obesity and diabetes, oxidative stress. Effects in children include autism, ADHD, and asthma. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. Look at the long list of health effect that is going to affect us, but yet still they are still pushing ahead. And so far the only politician that says anything about it is the Polish Prime Minister that signed the appeal to stop 5G in 2019. He signed the international appeal to stop 5G on Earth and in space. He has opened the way for leaders in other countries to take the same step, thereby protecting their country from the potential highly dangerous and untested technology whose repercussion, right, for health and welfare are without precedent. No one is listening because I haven't seen any other leaders spoken about this technology. Right now we have Elon Musk. Let's hear what he has to say. On May 23rd, 2019, SpaceX launched its first 60 5G satellite. Elon Musk plans 6 more launches this year and hopes to turn on 5G from 420 satellites by the end of 2019 to SpaceX first customers. Within a decade, he expects his fleet of satellites will number 12,000. Why? Why are these people trying to kill us? Why? I cannot understand. Now, another interesting thing that you need to hear is the fact that it's in this book, as I said, I will leave the reference, they're calling it a EMR. EMR is genocide. The industry and those parts of the government which are encouraging them will be responsible for killing more people than all those killed in the entire world war. Right? This will be the worst genocide the planet has ever seen. Not just people, but plants. Right? So it is genocide. Because if they can lock into your frequency, then they can have you do and say whatever they want. These people is basically having humanity self-destruct right in front of our very eyes. Right? And we are not paying attention. This machine is a frequency machine. It can tap into our consciousness and we can act out of character. Right? So if we are not a violent person, we get violent, we have depressions, we can turn into sexual perverts, and that is the part no one is talking about. Right? Now, let us look at some facts why this thing is not safe. No, 5G is a massive and dangerous experiment on the public and environmental health. Fact 1. 5G combines microwave and millimeter wave wireless radiation. There is no scientific evidence to support any claim of 5G safety. Fact 2. 5G requires significantly more cell towers, which will increase involuntary exposure to wireless radiation in our communities. Fact 3. Hundreds of scientists and public health experts from around the world are demanding a moratorium on the deployment of 5G. Fact 4. The 30 million 10-year U.S. National Toxicology Program study found clear evidence of cancer from exposure to wireless radiation. Fact 5. Thousands of independent studies show adverse health impact from wireless radiation. Children are more vulnerable and they depend on us to protect them. Studies also show wireless radiation harms birds, bees, trees, and nature. Fact 6. People are already getting injured by cell towers, smartphone, Wi-Fi, smart meters, and other wireless devices. Right? Fact 7. The government's human exposure guidelines haven't been updated in more than 20 years and are only concerned with thermal exposures. Fact 8. 5G signals don't travel far, so unless people oppose 5G antennas will be installed every couple hundred feet apart, next to homes, apartment parks, and schools. Fact 9. Telecom companies like AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon are rushing to install 4G LTE smart cell antennas, the foundation for 5G, as quickly as possible. Fact 10. When people oppose small cell 4G and 5G antennas may be denied, and leaders may create ordinance to better protect the public and the environment. No, people, the evidence is in. Pages upon pages upon pages, books upon top of books, telling us the dangers of 5G, but yet still this thing is being rolled out internationally. All leaders of the world agree to kill humanity and to kill their people, because if you do not see these 5G antennas, they are hiding, they are everywhere. And if they are not there yet, don't worry, they are coming. Right? Because this is a plan by the enemy. This is a spiritual warfare, and people have not gotten that message yet. We do not wrestle with flesh and blood, but with principalities, wickedness in high places. And these enemies of humanity, they are out to kill the Most High creation. That is what they are about. And the sooner we wake up to the reality of what is happening around us, the quicker we can find a solution to protect our families and our friends. This is no joke. Right? I have read the related health illnesses to 5G. I'm still doing my research. I'm still reading, and I'm going to still bring more on this 5G technology, because it is a threat. It is just it is a Trojan horse to our enslavement, and a lot of us is not talking much. Talking a lot about it. I'm starting to get attacked. They're sending their frequency through these machines that you use. I'm telling you, this thing is real. This is no joke, right? No, I will continue to pray for humanity, right? And we say, glory be to the Most High.